Hi, hello, how's it going? It's Emily, and today we have a very exciting video. I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be reading for the month of October, finding out what I'm going to be reading for the month of October, aka the best month ever. I love October, I love fall, I'm excited to continue reading for fall. So first we need to review what happened in September. First for Amy and Kim's TBR game, I had ambitious plans. I even read for a decent number of prompts, but I forgot to submit before the deadline, before I needed to submit. So we're just gonna brush right over that. For Magical Readathon, I was successful. I read Tusk Love for a book with water on the cover for elemental studies, Arcana Academy for inscription for a prime number of letters in the title, as well as Catabasis for a vertical title on the spine. I did read The Last Graduate for single POV for what I needed for restoration. I read What You're Looking For Is in the Library as a translated work for lore, as well as a book with letter or note on the cover or inside the book. That was the Otherwhere post I read for that. And then 2 or more M's in the title. I'm almost done with Immortal Consequences, and I still have a little bit of time left, so I'm not worried about being able to finish that one. So I was successful. And then as far as my own TBR game for September, I did read What If We Get It Right for a nonfiction, Arcana Academy for top of mind. I read Tusk Love for a free pick. I read A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire for a 4+ word title. Enchanted Greenhouse for a pretty cover. The Last Graduate for continuous series, and Immortal Consequences for a 400+ page book. I believe that was everything. So, successful in September, and hopefully we will be for October as well. There is a lot I want to read in the month of October because I love trying to fit in as many autumnal spooky season books as possible. So let's just jump right into the TBR game and see what TBR Grand Prix has in store for me. I'll try to get as many books on that I know I want to read. There might be quite a few months where I don't particularly have a list or a specific list of what I want to read that month, and I'm fine letting the prompts kind of dictate what I read and whatever, as opposed to trying to fit specific books into that list. However, October is one of the months where I'm very much trying to fit a specific set of books onto the list because they fit the season and fit the vibes and fit what I want to read right now. So I'm hoping the game will be nice to me and give me some books that are on the list for October. So we'll go through that and play the game, and then I'll tell you about, because I'm highly doubt I'm going to get all of the books that I want for October onto the TBR game list, so I'll talk about whatever ones are left over. I'll just give a brief mention to the other things that I would like to read in October. The final thing I'll mention is that I think I'm going to do a spinner wheel this month. I would like to add some random fun elements to my vlogs this month. Again, I did the TBR jar in September. I think we're gonna do a TBR wheel in October. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for those vlogs that will incorporate all of the books that I want to or need to read for October in a wheel, but just pick which order that I read them in at random. And be sure to subscribe for more TBR games because I do this every month. So very exciting stuff. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the first roll of TBR Grand Prix. So we have a couple of exciting new things on the board set up here. Well, kind of. We have some new radio messages. I only did a handful when I first made them, so I wanted to add some more and put those in the mix. But look, Matt also 3D printed me this adorable F1 car to use as the piece that we move around the board. I love it. So we're gonna use that to go around the board, and we're all set up here. So let's just dive in to roll number 1. Okay, we have a 2. Oop. 1, 2. So we're going to go to the second team spot of the 4. So we'll go to the second deck here. A backlist title. Okay, so this is a title from at least last year, so not a problem. So the first one got us a backlist title, which I mean, quite a few of what I have on, or quite a few books that I have on my TBR are pretty new, but there definitely are some backlist ones in there as well. And I'm considering backlist anything from, I mean, 2024 is kind of borderline, but 2023 and before would really, for me, be considered backlist. So we're gonna go with a 2023 release and say the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This one seems perfect for the fall vibes. I mean, look at this cover. And I believe we have a romance between this coffee shop owner as well as a farmer. So we have the farm. I mean, it's just perfect for fall. So that's really all I know about this, and I'm excited to see if I could enjoy books in this series, so we'll give it a go, and I figured a beautiful edition would be a great way to do that. So yeah, next roll. And next roll, a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so radio message. Let's see if we get a new one. Okay, let's see. My tires are lasting longer than expected. Copy move forward 1 space. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna move forward 1 space to this Mercedes one, and that is the first of the 4 team spots. So we're gonna go to the first deck here. Finish a series, a priority for this year, so not a problem. So this one is always a good one to draw because there are many series this month actually that I would like to finish. I think the one that I'm going to go with here is a duology, just to make sure that we're finishing out a duology. And we're going to finish out the Keeper of Night duology. So the first book is the Keeper of Night. The second book is the Empress of Time. And this is by Kylie Lee Baker. I might need to reread the first one. I was trying to find a summary online to see if I could just jog my memory and then go right into this, but I wasn't finding much other than reviews, which is handy, but I really need just a recap of the first one if I'm going to be able to jog my memory, because I read it a good number of years ago when it first came out. I think I got the first one from Book of the Month a while ago. So I might need to reread the first one to refresh my memory. We'll see, but I would like to finish out this duology for sure. So, all right, next roll. And next roll, we have a 1. So once again, we are on a hotspot, which is the second deck here. Ooh, flowers on the cover. Okay, I do have quite a few of those. Maybe not all of the books I want to read for October have flowers on the cover, but I'm sure I can find something. So it won't be a problem. All right, so we got flowers on the cover, and I was hoping that I might be able to find some books on my list that have flowers on the cover, and I definitely did. When I saw it, I remembered that the cover of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, the Fairy Loot cover, has these beautiful flowers. So we're gonna go ahead and add it to the TBR. Really, I mean, one, it's V. Schwab, so I wanna read it, but I just know this is toxic lesbian vampires, and that's really all I needed to know to be on board. I think we follow characters in a few different timelines. I'm not really sure how they're going to intersect or connect with each other, but I'm very excited to give this one a go. I've been seeing incredible things about this one, and I know I love V. Schwab's writing, so I'm very excited for that one, for sure. All right, next roll. And the next roll is a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this spot here, we roll the dice, and if I roll even, then I move forward that many spaces, and if I roll an odd number, I move back that many spaces. So let's just see what the dice has in store. A 3, so we're moving back 3 spaces. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we're on the 3rd team spot, the Alpine spot. Ooh, a free pick. Okay, okay. I love it. Free pick, always handy when I have a very specific set of books that I would like to get on the TBR. So the one that I'm gonna pick for the first free pick is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This one involves trials and a murder mystery and politics, and it sounds incredible. It sounds like everything that I love, and I've heard it's perfect for this time of year, and just everyone that I've seen talk about this has absolutely raved about it, so I had to get my hands on it and sneak it into the October TBR. Yeah, again, so many elements and so many buzzwords for me in here as far as what I enjoy in my fantasies, so I can't imagine that I won't absolutely love this. Anyway, all right, next roll. And next roll, a 4. So we are once again on a radio message. Let's see what this one says. Let's see. Big crash up ahead. Coffee safety car has been deployed. You cannot advance more than 3 spaces on your next roll. Okay. So even if I roll higher than a 3, I can only move forward 3 spots. If I roll less than a 3, then I'll just move forward however many spots. 5. Okay, so that's more than 3. So we'll just move forward 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So I'm on the 3rd team spot once again. So we'll do something from the 3rd deck here. 4+ word title. Okay, not a problem. I swear I shuffle them, but we keep for some reason getting this one in particular. 4+ word title. And for this one, I want to go with another one that was a very popular release this year that I have been dying to get to, but I knew would be perfect for this time of year, so I was holding off. And that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is once again the Fairy Loot edition, and yeah, I have forgotten what this one in particular is about, like the details of the story, but I think is she in some sort of convent, and she's a diviner, and some of her fellow convent sisters are going missing, something along those lines. I don't know. Anyway, I know I love Rachel Gillig's writing from the Shepherd's Duology, and so I'm very excited to dig into her latest release that I've been hearing incredible things about. So another very exciting one to add to the TBR. All right, next roll. And next roll. 4, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're hitting all the radio messages today. Let's see. Brakes are overheating, slow down, move back 4 spaces. Okay, so we're gonna move back 1, 3, 4. So, loving the Alpine spots today. Okay, let's see. A nonfiction. Interesting. Okay, won't be a problem. Lots of them that I want to read. I do have a lot of nonfictions that I would like to be reading, and I need to be better about reading nonfictions. I don't have my environmental book club meetup this month, but there still are plenty that I would like to read. So what I'm gonna go with is one that I have started, but whatever, my game, my rules. I would like to finish Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and this is, a writing guide, and talks about various story structures and various types of stories and archetypes for stories, and what elements need to go into those types of stories and how to structure different things. So very handy guide. So maybe not as exciting as some of the others, but definitely one that I am interested in finishing and just learning more about storytelling. All right, next one. And next roll. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5. So we're gonna do the Mercedes spot, the first team spot right here. Oh, something from my Kindle. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So something from my Kindle. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that I have to read it on my Kindle necessarily. I mean, ideally that would be the situation. The main thing that I could think of is actually one that I have started. I'm 10% of the way in, and that is Blood and Trials. Is it? No, Blood and Trials. Blood and Betrayals, I think, is what it's called. But it is so long. I've heard amazing things about it. I've enjoyed the first 10%. It's a academy setting, perfect for this time of year, but it is so long. And there's not an audiobook. It's only on Kindle. And so that was my first inclination, but I think I'm mostly just reading it while there are either Formula One stuff going on and we're watching that, or we're watching football games. And so I'm not going to be able to finish an incredibly long book in that time. So I kept looking and realized that what I do have on my Kindle is a book that I actually would really like to read. In October, I have House of Roots and Ruin on Kindle. And so I also saw this physical copy at a used bookstore and picked it up, and it's gorgeous Barnes & Noble edition with the sprayed edges. So this is another one that I could have gone for flowers on the cover, but you know, whatever. I do have this on Kindle, and so even if I read it physically here or listen to the audiobook, I still have it on Kindle, so it still counts. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on. This is the follow-up to House of Salt and Sorrows. This is another book in that world that follows another one of the sisters that's in that first story. And so I think it takes place after the events of the first one, and we follow, is it Verity? I think we follow Verity. Yeah, Verity a little bit later in life and what she's going through a little bit later. So excited to get back into that world. House of Salt and Sorrows was pretty dark and it was perfect for this time of year. So I'm hoping this one will also get a little dark and twisted. So we'll see what happens with that one. But on to the next one. And next roll. A 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, one more radio message. Let's see. Change strategy from one stop to a 2-stop race. Copy, add a book of your choice to your TBR. So I'm actually going to put that here since that is affecting number of books, but that effectively acts like a free pick. So we have actually one of the new radio messages that I added to the game this time. And I thought it would be fun to, and Matt also liked this idea as well and helped me think of some. I thought it would be fun to include some that didn't just affect gameplay and where I was on the board, but also affected how many books I have on my TBR, maybe which ones, maybe not necessarily giving me a prompt, but still affecting the number of books I was reading, or something to do with the actual book picking as well, and not just where I was on the board. So thought it would be fun to have one that added a book to my TBR, and I made it one of my choice to be nice. Maybe there will be some in the future that I make where I need to add a book to my TBR and it's a very specific one, or maybe I can add you've been putting this book off for a long time, but that's the book you're going to add to your TBR kind of prompt. But for the moment, I just was a little bit nice to myself, and even if I'm adding a book, I made it one of my choice. So for that one, I'm gonna go ahead and put on This Monster of Mine. I've been hearing some mixed but mostly good things about this one, and I'm so intrigued. And this one follows a woman who is, I think, an apprentice to like some, I don't know if it's law enforcement or like judges. I think it's like a judge type situation. She's an apprentice to a judge and is someone who's learning the ability to tell if someone is lying. The reason she wants to apprentice for this person in particular, try to get into this group of people who have this skill and do this type of work is because, is it her sister? Did her sister go missing, or her sister was murdered and she's trying to find out who killed her sister? I think that's, yeah. No, someone tried to kill her. It wasn't her sister. Someone tried to kill her, and she wants to know who tried to kill her, and she thinks that going into this position will help her figure out potentially who killed her, because she thinks that the person that she's working for could be someone who is on her list of suspects of people who might have tried to kill her, and so she's trying to figure out what's going on. So, I don't know, sounds fun, sounds perfect for this time of year as well. So we're gonna go ahead and add that one and next roll. And I'm one spot away from the end spot here, so we'll just go ahead and do our final roll of 5. And we are now at the checkered flag. And that also will bring another free pick as well. So we've got a good mix here, so I like it. Okay, so we have finished, which means we need to add an end spot free pick. And it was perfect timing for this to arrive because I just received my copy of Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. And this one has been everywhere, and I'm so excited about it. It is a chunker. The audiobook is 36 hours long, but it is also narrated by one of my favorite narrators, Saskia Marveld, so I'm very excited to listen to the audiobook. But she is a chunker, and so this one's going to take a minute to get through, but this is actually based on the fanfiction Manacled, which is a Hermione, Draco Malfoy inspired story, but she obviously couldn't publish the actual fan fiction or profit off of characters that she didn't create, and so she wrote this story that is kind of inspired by her fan fiction but is a distinct work all on its own, and people have been absolutely loving it, and I'm excited to see what all the hype is about. And I also heard a lot of people saying that this is perfect for this time of year, dark, atmospheric, and so I'm just gonna trust that it's good for this season and add it as the final book on the official TBR. Now, I did mention that there are a lot of books that I would like to get through, so I'm just gonna run through real quick. This is the second book after Forest of Souls by Lori Emily. There is also a third and final book in this series, so I'd like to wrap up this series as well, but that does involve 2 books for that one. I have Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice when I would like another romance, and if this isn't a fall romance, then I'm gonna be pissed. And it is set in fall, so it should be perfect. I mean, if this isn't perfect for fall, then I'm gonna be upset because it involves, I think her mom owns a coffee shop that's like a small local coffee shop, and then I think his parents own a franchise of a bigger coffee shop, and they're in this small town. Anyway, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So I'd like to read that one. There's Where Shadows Meet that I believe involves vampires, so I was saving it for this time of year. I'd like to finish the Atlas series, and I moved this from September to October just because time was getting a little short. And another book that I'd already read fulfilled the prep that this was fulfilling, and so I just went ahead and moved this to October, but I would like to finish the Atlas series. I also saw this in a little free library and thought it would be fun for this time of year, Delicious Monsters by LaSalle Sandberry, and so I'm gonna try this one. Very intrigued. I would also like to continue the series. It starts with the City of Dusk, and this is the Midnight Kingdom, so I'd like to continue this series. I believe it's going to be a trilogy, so this doesn't finish the series, but I do believe we'll continue the series, and so I'd like to continue that series. I think it was perfect for this time of year when I read the first one, so I'm hoping this second one will also be good for this time of year. We have Immortal Dark, which once again involves vampires, so you know I gotta read it in October. And then the final one, I actually read or won a Goodreads giveaway for this. The only one I've ever won, but I was very excited. I got The Possession of Alba Diaz. So very excited about this one as well. I've enjoyed Isabel Cañas's other two books. She wrote The Vampires of El Norte and The Hacienda. And I thoroughly enjoyed both of those. Just, I love them so much. Her writing is so good. It's atmospheric, just luscious writing. And so whatever she picks up or whatever she writes, I'm going to pick up. And, you know, if it involves a possession, it seems like it would be perfect for this time of year. So, it's a lot that I would like to read in the month of October, even considering that I am currently unemployed. So good luck to me. Wish me luck in the comments. We'll see if I can get through all of these. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the TBR game. And yeah, if you have any ideas about how to bring the community in on this one, I'd love to hear them. Thinking maybe I can create an online, I need to figure out how to do this though, like create an online version that people can play. And I don't know, maybe have teams, like I know there are the team spots, maybe we can like have people who are interested like join different teams and like compete for points or something. I don't know, I feel like that would be super fun, but I need to figure out how to do that. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the TBR game. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy your reading in the month of October. Let me know what you're going to be reading, because I am always looking for the perfect books for October. Just, it's the best time to read. I'm so excited if you couldn't tell. So I will leave my Instagram link down below, as well as more information about how you can support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.